Happy rainy Sunday, YouTube. I thought I was going to go on a walk. I come out here every morning. This is a park close to my house, and there's like some trails and woods. It's really nice. Anyways, I come out here every morning to take my walk, and I thought I could, like it had been raining, right? But it stopped, so I thought I could sneak in a quick, little walk to the little pond they have down there. It takes about 30 minutes to get there walking, and then maybe like 30 minutes back depending on what trail you take. So it's a nice little hour-long walk in the morning. I thought I could squeeze it in, but I got caught in the rain, and then I thought I could wait it out under a tree, which was a bad idea. It wasn't thundering or lightning, it was just rain. And that didn't work, so I got a little wet running back to my car. Anyways, I wanted to make this video to kind of continue the conversation from my last video about how I recommended a couple of sources, and I talked about how information and facts are handed down to us from the voice of authority, and how you need to step outside of your bubble to see what other sources are saying. And that's very important when you're trying to form your perception, your view of the world, right? So this week I want to talk about another source that might be a little controversial, but I ask everybody to at least look at it with an open mind, and definitely read the first paper, the first part of this very long, this is a huge story. Like, what I've learned in the last couple of months is that we don't know our history. We barely know what happened in the last 5,000 or 6,000 years. Coming to understand, in terms of a history, not just, here's some bones that are 65 million years old or whatever. No, like in terms of the history of the Earth, what has happened on this planet and in this galaxy, in this solar system and this galaxy, what has happened in the past, billions of years that we are unaware of. Like, we are so arrogant and simple-minded to think that Earth is a silo, that nothing else has ever happened on this planet, that we are it, that we are the pinnacle of everything. We are the pinnacle of evolution. And I have to do a video on evolution, because that right there is another conspiracy, and it's just, it's such a lie. It is not settled science, and the proof is all of the skeletons of giants that are unaccounted for. Anyways, Wes Penre, the Wes Penre papers. At least read or listen to. I will provide the links to both his website, and YouTuber Titan Blooded has put up all of his papers. There's hundreds of them, all of them up on YouTube, so you can just listen to them. And that's what I've been doing for the past several weeks. Just in my spare time, I'll just, you don't have to, the good thing about it is you just have to listen to it. It's not like, sometimes there's pictures to go along with the words, but it's not like, you're watching a documentary. It's just, you have to listen to it. It's like a podcast, but it's not a podcast. It's just a robotic voice reading off the paper, but it's an easy way to watch it and absorb the information. And Wes Penre's first paper details in great detail and breaks it down, this hierarchy that controls the world that we do not perceive, and we barely know what's going on above us and below us. We barely know. We don't even, I think most people don't even think that anything's going on above or below us. And the truth is that there's a lot of stuff going on. And so back to my point about having a framework to understand the world, I think Michel Foucault and Nietzsche offer good foundations. And by that, Michel Foucault is basically saying your information is coming from an authority that has already decided on a narrative that they want everybody to believe. And it's necessary for everyone to believe the narrative so that they can control us, right? So whenever information comes out, somebody discovers it or whatever, artifacts or bones or whatever, that contradicts their narrative, they will do anything to hide it, call it a hoax, destroy it, just discredit it by any means. And there's just so much that has been discovered in the world that is just mind-blowing and mind-boggling, and people have to be aware of it. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So Wes Penre offers his first paper is excellent. It definitely offers a good framework to understand the hierarchy. I think a lot of people don't even understand how high up the hierarchy goes. I mean, we think in terms of, okay, we're ruled by, government, and then the head of the government is, the president, or he's actually the head of the army, the military, but, those two, the government and the military, rule. And it goes beyond that. Then there's global, there's the idea that the whole world is like, somebody is at the top making decisions, right? Like, you have to wonder, how far up does it go? And even if you've read things about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Bilderberg Group, even if you've already know all that, but maybe you haven't pieced it together, and that's why it's important to be able to step back and widen your lens so you can see how everything connects. So definitely Wes Penre, his first paper. And if you want to go beyond that, I mean, that's a rabbit, those are lots of rabbit holes. And it might take a while to absorb everything. Like, as I said, I've been reading all of his stuff for the past several weeks, and it does take several days after, for me personally, several days, I'm still trying to digest the information because it is just so out there. But at the same time, it makes sense. And it explains a lot of things in a way that really makes sense, as opposed to the explanations, the very simple explanations that we are relying on as of now. Simple explanations such as, history is linear, and we slowly progress to where we are today. And supposedly today we are at a more evolved, we are more evolved today, supposedly, than we were, several thousand years ago. That's just not the case. And there's even evidence to suggest that there have been many civilizations that have thrived on this planet and thrived for thousands of years, but have been decimated for one reason or another. Atlantis and Lemuria are two examples of that, and people don't even know that. Most people think Atlantis is just a legend or a myth. Most people don't even know about Lemuria. And there's also, I'm still doing research about Mu. I'm not really sure if Mu was a culture or if it was a continent. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But there's evidence that humans have been on this planet for eons, and have just, we've had our ups and our downs, and where we have been at the pinnacle, or we thought, and then we destroyed ourselves, and we have to start all over again. And it takes thousands of years. Thousands. So our history goes way back, more than just 5,000 or 6,000 years, more than 10,000 or 12,000 years. I mean, it goes way back, and it begins off planet. So I'm just urging everyone to please look for the truth, and not, everybody has their beliefs, right? But what I'm suggesting is that maybe, and it's not our fault, but maybe we've been lied to. That's all I'm saying, is maybe things are not as they seem. Maybe things have been created in a way to make us believe a certain narrative, and there's a reason for that. And I urge everyone to please just look into that, and don't be closed-minded to the idea or the possibility that we have been lied to on a very, like a global scale. Okay, I'm talking the lie of all lies, which is, I mean, I really don't want to get into the details or the specifics of it, because it deals with beliefs. It deals with what we believe to have been our history. And there's evidence now to suggest that it's a lot different than what we have been told. So I urge everyone to please look into it. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing. And I'll be putting up more videos.